Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into the juicy world of watercolor painting and creating this delicious watermelon slice. But first things first, I want to give a huge shout out to my awesome Patreon members who make these tutorials possible. If you're not part of the crew yet, head over to my Patreon page, link in the description below, for access to exclusive brushes, palettes, templates and more. Now let's grab our supplies and get painting. Start off by opening up Procreate and creating a new canvas. You do this by tapping on the plus icon in the top right hand corner. I'm going to be using a square canvas, 3000 by 3000 pixels. The next thing I'm going to do is add a watercolor texture PNG or JPEG file, which I have created. I've made that available for my Patreon members. So you're going to go to the wrench tool, select import photo, select the canvas from your gallery and then position it so that it completely covers your blank canvas. And there you have it. It's got a lovely authentic watercolor paper feel to it. Next, I'm going to create a new layer above the watercolor paper layer. I'm going to the brush library where I'll go to my watermelon brush set and I'm going to choose the watercolor medium wash brush. I'm then going to go to my color palettes and you will see that I have got my watermelon color palette imported into Procreate, and I'm going to start off by using a medium green. Once you have that color selected, you can start drawing the shell or the lovely C curve of the watermelon peel. I like to sketch on Procreate as I would in a traditional drawing, and that is by just moving my hand to and forth and sketching out the basic shape. As I go along, I refine the shape so that I get it as close to the watermelon shell as possible. Remember that as you are sketching, you can tap on the eraser tool to remove any unwanted lines and to clean up your shape. Right, once I have that basic shape down, I'm going to go back to my watermelon color palette and select this very vibrant red color, and I'm going to just draw the edge of the juicy watermelon flesh. And now I'm going to begin coloring in the watermelon peel, once again using that medium green. I'm going to adjust my brush size. I am using the watercolor medium brush to start this off. And then you're simply going to start blocking out this lighter color into the watermelon peel. Next, I'm going to go back to my watermelon color palette, select a darker green, reduce my brush size slightly, and I'm going to start layering this darker green on top of the lighter green beneath it. Use this darker green to define the stripes or the patterns on the watermelon's shell. Next, you're going back to your color palette and choosing the darker, richer green. You're going to layer this darker, richer green over the dark patterns that you've already defined. You can select the smudge tool and choose the specific brush to use to get a watercolor effect. I'm just increasing the size and decreasing the opacity so that the smudge effect isn't very bold. And then I'm going to use that brush to blend colors without losing the watercolor effect. Another very helpful tip for Procreate is to go to your wrench tool, canvas, Select references, and you'll find that your image is there in a small version now, and you can see changes that you are making in your drawing in real time. Next, I'm going to choose this lime green color, and very much like authentic traditional watercolor, in Procreate you can layer colors beautifully to create a watercolor effect. When we find this over, they'll be gone. Next, I'm going to select the rich green again, and I'm going to once again layer it over the patterns on the watermelon shell. For the next step, I'm going to draw the seeds of the watermelon. I'm going to create a new layer, and then I'm going to select the color of my seeds. I'm going to be using this medium gray, and I'm going to be using the watercolor wet brush. Start sketching out the teardrop shapes of the watermelon seeds. I'm then going to go back to my color palette and choose a darker color, and I'm going to add shadows to each of my seeds. Select a dark red and go over areas of your seeds to give them a bit of depth. Next, you're going to create a new layer on which to color in your fleshy fruit. Select this vibrant red, and I'm going to be using the watercolor medium wash brush. Choose this darker red and start layering it on the base red. Use the smudge tool again to blend colors. Now I'm going to add little white highlights. Add a new layer. Then you're going to select white. You're then going to go to your brush library and you're going to choose the watercolor wet brush. Start adding little flecks of white as highlights on the watermelon flesh. Once again, select your dark green to define the edges of your watermelon peel. Next we'll be creating a shadow beneath the watercolor. Add a new layer and drag it below the watermelon. You can also pinch all the layers of the watermelon together if you're happy with your final design. Make sure you have the blank layer under your watermelon selected. Then you're going to your color palette and you're going to choose a soft gray. In fact, I'm just going to move my watermelon to a position I'm more happy with within my canvas. Back to that layer, and now I'm going to choose the soft gray color for the shadow under my watermelon. I'm going to use the watercolor wet brush. I'm going to increase the size and I'm going to draw an oval shadow. I'm then going to use my eraser to remove any of the grey under the watermelon or beneath the watermelon layer so that it doesn't affect the colours on the top. Next I'm choosing a darker grey so that I can darken the area that is closest to the watermelon. Then I'm going to use my smudge tool to make the gradient even smoother. I also like to increase the highlight areas slightly by choosing a light green color and lining some of the edges of the peel. This just helps the watermelon stand up or stand out against the shadow area. Okay, now you can definitely call it a day here and be proud of your awesome watermelon slice. But if you want to give it a little more of that watercolor vibe, I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to add some splashes to the background. This is totally optional, but it's a great way to add some visual interest and make your watermelon pop. Grab some colors from your watermelon, those juicy reds, pinks and greens, and using the watercolor splash brushes in my set, let's add some playful splatters around our slice. I'm going to speed things up here, but feel free to experiment and see what works best for you. Remember, there are no mistakes in watercolor, just happy accidents. And there you have it, folks, your very own Procreate Watercolor Watermelon Slice, ready to be devoured, with your eyes of course. Don't forget to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and hitting that notification bell for more creative goodness. And if you want to take your watercolor game to the next level, join the Patreon fam. We've got a whole bunch of goodies waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.